First 2, 3, 4 pews. Men so be a fan, our Facebook Live, where schedule what trash is scattered there. If I feel by a few, you have a fan, what here come a fair on again. Shall we please sit and pray? If our interaction was solid. Let us pray. Our Heavenly Father, we thank you so much for this evening, for our lives. We are gathered this evening to learn. We pray that, Lord, your presence in our midst will educate us. We commit the speakers into your hands, Daddy, O God. Use them as vessels to educate all of us this evening. We are asking that you will begin with us and end with us to the glory of your holy name. We thank you for visiting us this evening. In Jesus' mighty name, amen. We welcome all of you this evening to this evening's program. One pay wa fair wa ikem bagbeke ne make us money. Nsusu mona eji ne kase money ehia awa de nche. Eja ke ka ole no ko is an achombo. Hosea chapter 4 verse 6 says that my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. No, he hake obale noko. I mean, Papa Lemin Kayake, about 3 months ago, I had a message from one of these regulatory bodies, say, pension be share, one scanning or jembahi. And I said, oh, but pension, how? Apparently, when I was working at a particular company, they were paying their tier 3. And I have no idea about it. So, later I called the company, Petra Advantage. And then they gave me my account and I checked. And it was good money. So I said, I've left the place. Move all the money into my individual accounts. So I can top up till I'm on pension. Then I can come for that money. But, I don't know about it. So I think it's important that all of us, I mean, what I believe what you are to me. No what book and anything on it to Juba. Maybe I can buy you book. Young more I abo. Been work out on I want to nearly. Kefata no wole momo. Yesu Christo be amen. Amen.
Thank you very much, Papa Ashali. I think you know fair no. We'll just move straight. Ngene me two by you now. Ni can claim money by you now. When you on here, they are members of this congregation. That is the union on our agent. Can claim money by you on legit deputy chief executive. Yeah, National Patients Regulatory Authority (NPRA). They evaluate about the regulatory aspect as well as the third tier. He's a very good friend. Can introduce Lenny. He's an old student of Efen-Sipim. That one they have to say it. That is what they love, as well as University of Cape Coast. But Efen-Sipim is very important. Yes, and he's an old student of boys' school also. Yes. Tuning financial sector for quite a long time. So, the Deputy Chief Executive for NPRA. Let us welcome Mr. David Erasmus Nintete Amamensta Kweku Abi. So, a second person, Masmoni Leung Eba, quick. Let I be solely on snake. Leung to wedding care as a phone name in Ujile. Right after PSEC, he went to KNUST, did a little of mathematics. He has been with SNIT for decades, for close to 2 decades, I think. Ladies and gentlemen, Ruben Abose Lamte. At the point, and the two of them were members of the Usu Eben-Ezer YAF committee. Thank you.
Okay. Mr. Pam, Ani Amehami slide there. Koni. Osofo eje ni ehia wo mo. Ewo me pie ka ke pension e wo fen wo le ake snit. Ka ke pension wo fen wo pi wo le ake snit. Shi aho snit yi. Tomo no no osofo yue ake ni bi kokome e ba pata snit yi. Ne mene Tomoboni awie minchu on the National Pension Regulatory Authority. Wo ko snit ke nibi other one say na kaba fita ye wo ko ameno. Ne wo oni ma faileji ma we about reform say and all the 3 types including snitch no. Then snitch value after that because I'm not going to go into details because you need a snitch. But our regulatory reforms here. So I'm going to go through the reforms. Me can slide about. The war reforms say work be na aye tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. Snit LG tier 1. No so for you a Petra advantage can it be they are tier 2 and tier 3 schemes trustees. So iye mo ke yeli ji akeshi be ni wo ba gbe ni na efe no otu oni ye efe no otu oni ye ke ache the new should I keep calling it the new pension because 12 years now upon reform say so I don't want to call it new because that is what it is noni many I think many 50 as at 2010 January I'm 2010 January call oye 50 le oba hin snitch no shimo femo below 50 le oye mi dienche. So to you it's no new. We'll come and then next slide please. The work Tomobani we pension regulatory authority wo fan gbekeni bi ni wo han ni menu the 3-tier pension scheme of Ghana. Nimla nike new 3-tier ba no National Pensions Act 2008 Act 766. It introduced a 3-tier pension scheme. Next, please. The outline new about the outline new about fe meneni kasemo. The first say ke ake pension say relevance of pensions. Ke ake pension say how relevant are they? Then we'll look at the background to the reforms. New one moved from SNIT into the new one 12 years ago. What happened? And then we also look at what the 3-tier pension scheme is about. So we'll look at tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3. And then we'll look at the National Pension Regulatory Authority. Why were we established with the reforms? Ni ato National Pension Regulatory Authority. And then we also look at the management of the 3-tier pension schemes. And one of the managers of the tier 1 scheme is the Social Security and National Insurance Trust, which is SNIT. So SNIT manages the tier 1, but there are other trustees who manages tier 2 and tier 3. And then we'll look at the role of service providers and other stakeholders in the new reform. Say beyond SNIT, even with the other trustees, were custodians, were fund managers, which have now come into the pension space. Formerly, they were not in the pension space. No, me amame pure mutual fund, ke unit trust, shibi antone work ameba pension space. And then, how do we protect the pension space? Because bekome wali ke wo fan gbeke ni bi ni wo te wi mo oba na akeshi ekole akeshi mo shike jofwe dan. So they only know SNIT and they are comfortable with SNIT. But when you are introducing the new ones, and then they compare them to PIRAM and all other things. So we'll look at how pension funds are protected. And then, new work SNIT, new reforms about what are the differences and the benefits. Because I know Akeshi, TUC, other Minipo can debate them even 12 years after the reforms. And then we'll look at the social economic impact. Next slide, please. So, ke ake pensioner, makpa fai akeshi, ke wabashi biene. I want us to understand what pension is. Ye gami ke blofomi fe. Ye gami eje pension. We used to say that. No, open shako. But pensioner, shika bejianoto. First and foremost, kake pensioner, shika bejianoto. Ni akengu bolemi ohia. Shika bejianoto. Je open shak ni darabi. Tomoboni oyayo car insurance. No, ke car fiteni insurance be ba nye pay. Pension no insurance ni. You want to alleviate old age poverty. So it is an insurance product in alleviating old age poverty. Bole mioya, because akek bole mioya efang bele. That is what the financial experts say. Old age poverty is worse than death, because two calamities. In old age, you cannot actively seek income. That's basically what it is. So occasion is a fixed sum to be paid regularly to a member of a pension scheme. Either tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, they are all schemes. Following retirement from an active service, pensions can be contributory or non-contributory. Meaning what wale cap 30. Cap 30 e beni blofo me ba. No me amame na ke pension here in the socio-economic system. Mokone chunia uni egbo ena eyoya kepe eyin no ameke e lokuba. The ordinance ba ni ameke pay pension, but amame no what all non-contributory, because ache your pay me. It can't government no akeshi call retire ebanhabu nakani ache o monthly, so you don't contribute to it whilst you are working. But there's a formula nike ogbenuchumo na olebono about pay. So those are non-contributory schemes. Ninuele ke ogbena becho nyomo ke ha employer allow government money promisable naka non-contributory package leba wo naka nyomo. She contributory schemes to most Senate and the 3-tier pension arrangement is a contributory scheme. No contribution, no job. You know contribute, you know job. 3-tier pension scheme is contributory. Sani ochu beni ochuni bona fenike oba ejomo ni akenakanshika ahabu. So that is the difference. Now we also talk about retirement. Now we also say that the retirement is act of ending one's working or professional career. Again, the period after which you have permanently stopped work, and you cannot actively seek income. Because one of the biggest reforms need tele new system informal sector. First, I'm an informal sector. I'm a set up a different scheme. Me managing, but be Antone even included in the tax benefit. What can informal sector be? Eba fatai. No, you cannot actively seek income because mokone le ebe age no ba ke la ke e asian. No lo nyo ke sister asho ko le dan che yin nuchumo. Le dan che pe ni ke eye ete ni ba nye pe be ba ya. Ne wo na kan gbomo onye o use no ni wo use or snite na ke o ye sister wo pa nuchumo. No. So he can only stop when he cannot actively seek income. E gbodo enye echu ni ena shika. Ne wo with such a person pension be obake by retirement. And you see, when you retire, right now with advancement in medicine, national health, can it be here? People are living longer. So during the reform, say we made certain parametric changes. Come a reform, say me. She come back when he say graphic fe seminar ni money behind you, money you actually ne kakeshi government a increase retirement age. She know political will a implication. She because me she longer, it's also affecting the state pension scheme because they are paying more benefit because people are living longer. And I will explain to you when we came to reform what we did to the SNIT, the old scheme. Next, please. Now, maybe Edwe, ni ha ni pension ya. First, wake wahi mo obia no akashi ke ogbo obi ba akwebu. So you don't need to put money aside towards old age or towards alleviating old age poverty, because you are depending on the traditional family system. Obi onyemi ma bi no kwame kenibi. You believe that ambanya may support bo. She be Antony Befan and movement from the urban from the villages to the urban areas can be it shake the foundation of our social security system. It has shaken the foundation of the social security system. So it has made the issue of pension very, very relevant. Now, any pension schemes, if very, very necessary, because if you retire and you don't have any benefit to support you through that, also that what is Sunyani Mancheko Kesani, again, a be it's money for ye for him, because he Beni Egbo, I mean, Kwame Nami. I mean, my dear Leshka, she ye Monica Shkaba. So a guy for ye p, but it was very serious. No matter what Belewo Sunyani branch and he was speaking like that. Okay, half for ye p, she was a farmer and a chief. But so imagine such a guy. Allo bo for him p nim among Beni bo e marini pako. So, any Sanu of what join the pension scheme. No, in Kangmane Yaf, KYPGB in Yamiwa, because a lot of the time, many of us hear this message late in our career, and it is sad because Bolemio here a fangbele, as I've told you, and pension is a financial arrangement you make towards alleviating old age poverty. Now, pension provides a means of alleviating old age poverty. Can you give me next slide? This slide is talking about the reforms. No niba ni waje snit pe ni wakete new pension scheme. Now, okay, can you go to the next one? The background to pension reforms. Okay. First, I think 2006, it started Joy FM. Nat, General Secretary, Dr. Bediakon. I make a Senate if I na me boy agitation. I make a lamsame. No ni watch all the gratuity if I Tomo I made a strike 2006. It was President Kufuor set up the Presidential Commission on Pension. Sorry, 2004. Ninaka Sanieba. It was Kufuor set up the Presidential Commission on Pension. Now, I'm a document now Mekeba. They recommended Akeshi the lump sum part of the Senate pension should be wind off Senate, and it should be given to private farm managers to manage, because they feel that when they do that, the lump sum will be, the adequacy will increase. So, a new contributory three-tier pension system for all employees in Ghana. That was the white paper. Ni President Kufuor Kokeje, I'm a report them, the Bediaku Commission. So the white paper that came out of the report was to establish a new three-tier pension system for all Ghanaians, not only workers, for all Ghanaians. We'll come to see that. Now, on top of that, a new pension act was promulgated. That is Act 766, 2008. Unfortunately, 2008, they lost the election. But fortunately, when Professor Mills came in, he implemented these pension reforms. So I think 2010, he established the National Pension Regulatory Authority, they have a board. Then it was a commission. But the law said it should become an authority. So we got our first board in 2010. And then the implementation started. But in the law, 2008 law, it came from 1st January 2010. Now, even though 1st January 2010, our board can be here. Because Mlakeshi has started. It was appointed Chemo. We'll come and see what him. Appointed Chemo, even before MPRA licensed service providers. Now, what is the new tier system any pension reform sekeba? Can I see the next slide, please? The first tier was to be managed by Senate. On 3 tiers, akeba. So this is a picture of the way the 3-tier system is. Senate was managing the first tier, and it was managing a scheme called the Basic National Social Security Scheme. So that was the tier 1 scheme, called the Basic National Social Security Scheme, which is managed by Senate. And then there was a second tier, with the reform, say, instead of work, shika by Senate, work private pension managers can be so. Second tier is privately managed. Now, the third tier, which is the game changer that I will explain, is also privately managed. No, private I'm a manage tier 2 and tier 3. Nibi Antone, tier 2 and tier 3, ke okamecha edafe snit, bi Antone no yo. Edafe snit is like twice. Because as I'll show you, the contribution rate was double what SNIT was getting since 2010. First, no me no fair no ya SNIT. But with this new reform, SNIT contribution rate was reduced to 11%. And then tier 2 and tier 3 were having about almost 22%, that's 21.5. So they were getting twice what SNIT was getting from 2010. Now, what was it covering? Next slide. Coverage and exemption. Okay, all employees in the formal sector. Then employees below 50 years, as at 1st January 2010. And then we also made it optional. So call you 50, as at 1st January 2010. No, oh yes, SNIT. You can opt to stay in the under 247. The old law on SNIT operator, it was Act 247. By anyone, you Act 766. No, but I know you small maba Act 766. SNIT. So the option was given. Or you can also say that when you are below 50, le ubenaka option. Okay. So this is the background to the reforms. And it is a reforms Mambie led by Nat and Dr. Bediako, who actually the Bediako Commission. Mambie ni ka mentao. Agbene wakeba. Now Tomoboninke, next slide please. Tomoboninke SNIT the first year, no the Basic National Social Security Scheme. Or no ni SNIT le trustee ni manager scheme ne. She first year ne ka chole. Ni no ji SNIT no ni ji scheme ni SNIT manager. It was scheme name ni ke ubo ni bi ani SNIT bi ba obana. So call no tier 1 be Basic National Social Security Scheme, which is managed by SNIT. That's tier 1. Okay. Now, next slide, please. Now, what are the features of the Basic National Social Security Scheme, tier 1? What are the features? It's mandatory for all employees, public and private. Whether Ochuni, your public sector, a low private sector, Sani will contribute to SNIT. It's mandatory. No, over Saturday court. It's not a good place for employers to be. Now, the governing board of the first tier, tier 1, is Senate. So the governing board is the Senate board of trustees. So next slide, talking about the governing board. That is Senate. And then the minimum contribution. The next slide, please. The minimum contribution should be based on the national daily minimum wage. Now, in the new arrangement, no konima ke jia keshin. First says 70.5 employee contribution, 70.5 of your basic salary. Fair as net. Okay? Fair as net. But no koniba. Yeah, reform say miji. A double contribution rate to 35%. It's one of the highest in the world. I think Singapore. Yeah, I think Singapore is 40 or something. But Ghana, in the new reform, 3-tier, but 35% of your basic salary, you don't pay tax. First, 70.5 penny your tax deductible. You know, then is divided between employer and then employee. No me, I think 12.5 employer, 5 employee. Now, in the new reform say, SNIT, while at 30.5%, she 30.5% penny a user. It get 2.5% your national health. A worker or contribute or your SNIT, or you contribute within the 3-tier pension scheme. Esa or renew or national health card can be a or bushka. I don't know whether you've been experiencing it. Because whether you like it or not, every month 2.5% of your salary goes to pay goes to national health through SNIT. What 13.5 any a return of 11%, make it 2.5 yeah national health. One other thing ni tier 1 baji minimum age for membership is 15 years. The maximum age 45 years. Tier 1 oye 15 obanyo ojenshi no contribute to SNIT. Shika oye 40 oye above 45 you can't start contributing to SNIT. But there is provision for you under the 3-tier where you can. Now, one other thing like benefits ni your first year heji. I'm a pure old age pension. Tomorrow a pension every month pension na boy. Agbene ke o benefit ke o boy. Many your go shimi ni o select ame SNIT. Amo ame na no survivors benefit. Amo ame na pension ko in the form of a lump sum. Keke invalidity benefit. Ke you are invalid no nyo chuno ni ochuno don. Ame a medical board number set ne determine akelele onyo chuno no chuno don. Ame way of determining validity. No ke anakeshin onyo chuno no chuno don am payable pension benefit. No, the first year ni SNIT non watch all SNIT. These are the benefits. Now, next slide, please. The second year, no watch all occupational work-based pension scheme. No for nuchulo. In back when informal sector, many ranch here, no tier 3. She tier 2. Got okwe history any habwe. Not make any be a menchuni. I'm a ben informal sector. Many they strike any be reform seba. No ni make government have any gratuity lamp same ni ekeya private managers no ni basically feed or tier 2. Is occupational and work based. Ni no ni osofo no eko osofo yue akeshi. Amete me kome banale. ni amekele akeshi no mi ene twu ni ye amemfeti etu ya meje ni no mi ele. So that is the second year. I believe I can first year one she no just it. Now second year no meji add on to need back reform say. Now what are the features? They have like 7 features. No mandatory ni. No ke o chuni sani o employer sani is selected a tier 2 trustee ne contribute cafe na ka ba wolemo. Ni ndomochine meji chairman of the prosecution committee ni Ecumenical ke me yakote e mobo ni noni do mi fefe eji ke e adomo dokete ni e Ecumenical enanyoko company ni e wole director ele ni company e poyo but as a director you are a principal officer of the company ke ape pension bo mamba mo ke na CEO manye mamo director seko obana ni ele nuku na awo bomo ni obana ni ata washika gidi go jaje le nwe kinkan bani ope mangmabo letter ake abaka mi aka ope as a regulator trustee abaka aka ope mangmabo letter mangmabo shienyo shieteno in lawyer say ba mangmabo aka wakabo ba ya court ke still of for me wo ba srabu ke belief now kagabo poe obana akachi ele park ape pension now agbene ama me pure lump sum niji second year be here and then they are governed by board of trustees. They are private companies the benefits are preserved until retirement or early withdrawal under certified condition or mental disability. Bekome law chon beni obanyo chon oni newu oji oshikeko without waiting for pension. Ni accrue benefit obanyo transfer ketomo oshi company A no te company B obanyo transfer kaya company B trustees many manager ni on retirement or early death no appeal o survivors ama me pure survivors ko gbo now ke oye 50 ni obenu chumo ye tier 2 you are allowed to withdraw she labor officer are declared unemployed ke declared unemployed no ba we can allow the trustees to pay you. Now public sector be alone ye echo or many what one year government hedge I think closer no actually hedge tier 2 no you for public sector there are 5 hedge pension closer and a associated keke health sector alone ye echo ke judicial service alone ye echo Ghana education service alone ye echo keke PSW employees occupational pension scheme. Or these 5 public sector schemes tier 2 Can you go to the next slide, please? Now, funding of mandatory first and second tier. Mr. Pam, I know funding of mandatory first and second tier. I think it is after this one. Okay. So please, next slide. Now, Tomoboni in where employer a pure 13% in the new 35 enemy Magblamie. Is a pam? Open a minto slide there now, my funding of mandatory first and second. Okay. A one black first and second TM. I can well I accord to our momo. It's mandatory. She walk up on Ajashka. O employer a pure 13% of your salary. Nibo employee abachable 5.5%. No any of your 18.5%. Shinkanya catching 35% ni allow it. But this side 1 and 2, they are mandatory. No, onyokake ofe. So that 18.5% in again eyo. Okay. Ewo ke waje 18.5 36 it was 16.5%. That is for the tier 3. Nimimba no. Ewo tier 3 and ka chole. Mr. Pam, next slide. Voluntary Provident Fund and Group Personal Pension. So this is the tier 3. So 16.5 and issue BNA eya. Nimi yale bleblo koni wanushi. In tier 1A. Tier 2 macho boni tier 1 ke tier 2 boni 13.5. Now BNA ni yen wo fefe because BNA won mami make any BNA or jano ni ameden chamechu ameni ke ni biye ake tier 3 bahami. Now ke ochuni ni ofe 18.5 be shebo 16.5 ni obanyo fe ni opay tax no private pensions and many few tier 2 I mean no na me manage your tier 3 she game changer ni your BG ke oye informal sector ni o contribute to tier 1 tier 2 35 obanyo ke fe a tier 3 but tier 3 is voluntary, it's not mandatory. It is encouraged that obafi. Ninwe Provident Fund there usually is the top up from the tier 1 and tier 2. Your Provident Fund there well companies, it's employer based. Your pay tier 1, tier 2, 18.5 mandatory. O company banye kake o obafi tier 3 Provident Fund. No, lewu ke employer small about pay ko she be ko me ke small. I always encourage akechi bodenche obanyo ka akechi 16.5 agie o salary me koni akefe because you get the tax benefit. No, it's voluntary. Keke group and personal pension scheme say no affair informal sector be wo ya wo fan gbe wa new asese wa market ke talking about the tier 3. Kuni informal sector be hairdressers association. Any group you can come under the 3-tier pension scheme, and we will be able to give you all the protection. Nino me many or snite pension snitch actually forgive me if I keep referring to many or snite. Kefe informal bi amenye considerate bi ano ke o ama menchuni abenjuma but bi antone we brought them into the same protection that government is giving to those in the formal sector. The world call back pictures ne Mr. Pam next slide back pictures ne obana mokoni ho amo mokoni takoko ni say ne will launch the cocoa farmers pension. Cocoa ko ya ho cocoa aye boni abajieko na ken machine abu under this new pension reforms. Taxi drivers we ya jano market lorry parks can be and we be a tax amame achona kanichumo ameya we ya dambai can be to educate people to contribute in, especially the informal sector, because that is the largest workforce in this country and they are not protected by any regulatory authority. No, we spend a lot of our money sensitizing them and educating them. Bona feni amehu amena nakai benefit eco. Now, Mr. Pam, slide 21, please. Me to magbe now, yeah. What jump to slide 21? Now, I'm just talking about the core benefit or advantages of the 3-tier pension scheme. Because we can compare Beni Wayo Captain Wayo 247 EP. Now, first nomie, thank you. First nomie under the 247 Sani oye ochu 240 months that no qualify for monthly pension. Now, with the new reforms, they will reduce like about 15 years. So, under 760 said tier 1 energy senator or contribute for 180 months you qualify. Formerly under 247 it was 240 months, need 20 years. The Anthony work about 15 years. Agbene survivors benefit computation what increased from 12 to 15 years. First year or retire at 60 years. Where defined period ko Nika Obo within a survivors bana say. She could go after that Mogoneko. I say 72. She work about 75 in these new reforms. They work or retire at 60. The new reforms say old one is 72. Work about 70. Me they work about 70 because me actually reserve pay I'm analysis. I mean life expectancy 18 for retirees. I've been averagely I'm go around 75. No ninke akeshi a lot of actual score action. Government are push retirement age because people are living longer and they could work longer. It's a political decision and you need political will. Bonafe, no wakete, well, can more go between 60 and 75 after retirement. Beneficiaries, survivors, now, better control over the tier 2 and tier 3 pensions. Tomoboni in Kebwe, SNIT retain on 11%. Whilst the tier 2 be now 5. Keke tier 3 is 16 and a half. Okay, 5 fit 16 and a half, that's 21. As against 11. So call a 1:2. And the Antone, I mean, share 30 billion assets under management. Tier 2, tier 3. I mean, share 30 billion. So they are becoming a big force to reckon with. I mean, she 30 billion. She 1 caveat in your Jemeji. SNIT, pure, almost 2.5 billion a year on benefit. She tier 2, tier 3, be a wahana may pay benefit for 10 years. You are me boy benefit pay mo 2020. Kaja 2010 no me I may pay benefit. She I think 2020 Kenya I'm a boy benefit pay mo. So it could explain because they were in an accumulation stage. No, I'm a fan say that one. I've been a fourth one age. Tomoboni ke oye tier 2 low tier 3. Ni Oshin company kwe obanye o move lamsa balance ni ona obanye move obanye nyose. So what all the portability and transferability. I've been and this is debatable. TUC government is debatable. We believe the new reforms is providing better pensions. Because if we move from 17 and a half to 35, even at a contributory level, then it should provide better pensions. She TUC will be retire. Can calculating only the debate is still out there. But we believe given what the reforms have yielded over the past 12 years, it is providing better pension than the previous only one scheme. And then we also say that the private managed pension, Bomode, and the tax benefit any government in her, it should be recommended. Because government in her general tax incentive of 35%. Formerly, it was only 17.5%. Ni agbene NPR, where Jeme, ni where on-site inspection, where report, ni ame submit about that. And to Boni Bank of Ghana, core bank say no. Agbene wako SNIT no, wako tier 2B, wako tier 3B no. And then there's also retirement protection to the workforce. Now, the 7th benefit is that agbene o tier 2 tier 3 benefit. Obanyo okay secure mortgage. Ni a lot of banks in Fena Kani Biane. A lot of banks in provide mortgage. Ni agbene tier 2 tier 3 lewe. Ke obe pension tomobnoni SNIT ha and you are the informal sector. Ke obua olam samena. Collaboration between NPR, NIC, National Insurance Commission, insurance companies come a point annuity provide motomo SNIT no. So banyo ke olam same ke 100,000 a year. Banyo ke ya I think 5 of them Prudential Star Life they provide immediate annuity. Call your lamp sam no can me. I love feel like a non snit bahabu if I because snit habu annual statement. Nechobu details. Tell o feel like a she but in chumo ale o snit monthly contribution far. Ke ona lamp sam for tier 2 tier 3. Oba okay any of these companies they will provide you with immediate annuity. Number payable till death. I want me feel like no, we feel like reform say eye ebua wa ni ke wo momi e ba ye ebua wo. Now mini role ni MPI report mini role ni MPI player. Mr. Pam, what ya slide 28. Mr. Pam, slide 28. Many protection MPR for pensions. Bientone one fair risk-based supervision. The new reform say protection of pension funds, please. Bientone what new reform say shika bemoko moboni e yo snit first. Bientone tier 2 meteni kwa shkan. The trustee le keeper nye data employees kweku no ne ama no ne mensa no ne le keeper na data. Ni a custodian bank is also appointed to keep the assets of the scheme. Ewo scheme shikacho ke enibi custodian bank ni trustee boy ya konta keke agbene investment ni account contribution say ba fe ye leun fund manager ni security and exchange commission a license le ama me work trustee nga boni amekashika atwa ne wo ke o shika ba alaje beja ne ke gbeme tene eto ablan akashi be abaju shika ni Ghana le no fe no ba nye ba no fe no ba nye ba shi e ba wa aka mete pe ba they are supposed to be independent of each other and the Lord very clear that these three people should be independent no ba na ke e ba nye ba le na ka shi be ja me fa me to ablan that e ba ba le na kan now agbene MPI work restricted investment regime eba work restricted investment regime eba ni wo ye investment guidelines ni Mr. Pam slide 28. So in your here, open any or move forward. Ni ma. So this is the protection ni won ha biane akeshin. What your investment guidelines even ni say no post snit then che what can me fair meeting to look at the investment guidelines because mla ha wo igba akeshin wokwe am investment na me feel ni wo bu amenga tier 2 ke tier 3 le won ha am investment guidelines no what as regulator say ni bi no feel ni work protect oni agbene every company ni manage your pension e me kumenu o cha me compliance officers ni amenyo ame ba call no ni ya no ye company emi e wodani ameba ya pe na ba decide ame ye take am coach can do for there are compliance officers ni be ba ke wonoko e wo ma post ye bi ene koni snake by way koni what take questions. So thank you very much.
Yo, wanyamino onokpa David Abe Iradon Jolanye. Yo, fine ingbe ji Ruben ni kwe lamti abose nke wanyami yo Jimaima Akosia Ofori eba lenwe 20 years Nate corporate affairs corporate affairs. Nyefane beete ewo owa flo no fiu shin no chumo bone yo owa suma ke organize se ba to be kokro le on kenmene ni wo jinshin owa chano another day keke shishi no mo eba fan ewo makpa fa ma bia keshin gan na awo Eben-Ezer indomo ewo be mo femo no gan ebie alo ewo ke blofo ba futu mi fiu mo na shin gan jinoni okwa choni nyami yo ele won you organ ewo ke tonyin fiu ma ni le we ba keke no chumo yemu ewo akewo why you about various schemes ewo SNIT ni Social Security and National Insurance Trust afono kuku na chole SNIT beni wo jenshin yes IC shishin State Insurance Company ewo ivane corporation yes bi ane afele SIC company corporation bi amepe ehu aha ewo ni 65 share anakichi be sana chewo fofo koni wodomo wona jiano ewo about form SNIT shin SNIT be na jenshin it was a provident fund ewo ko tuni ahu abo ka play na ka ke wode ewo ba na ke she wa me bi mokoye ni beni etuni ahu ni eba ejomo ka wo ka play ha le neken be pa ko aba to le manche ye man koklo no alo ke nga ko me yo aka ko ba fitai aba to bla ye enyo ko ko meja skeba ewo keke obi no ba na nyoje pa mi fimu eboemba ewo anake shi no ewa me ewo 1991 PN 247 ba ewo 247 eba fele SNIT pension scheme ewo pension scheme akoka play fin wo de abagila mi ewo ko ba ijomo otuni an ba ijomo da nyongbele ayebo na ba hanbo ewo wo chono income replacement ni ji akeshimbo ni awo bonyumo ke ijomo ebami do tashian ni oya anu chumodon te aba fele ten abo ewo da nyongbele keke awo bonyumo ewo ke okwe bible em no fe no ni bp afio okọ ito kejo bible em ona talent ni beni onupa amfangbe ni eke ehamoko 5 ehamoko 3 ehamoko 1 ewo akwe akeshin the culture of saving towards a time ni beba sheni ekole hiwale alo noko no yo onye unale na kan don ni bone yo oji ewale no yo nwene ko tuni anwe no ba gbojo e ba shebeku no ba bashia ko bashia sani wonye won ha buka plate won wo yo ewo wo cho no lifetime savings ewo oba na kesisi ni te bele to moboni other commercial banks yo ke ni bi ni ke oga kaple atowe no ko fo ifio oba ba gba gbogbo e ma no kwa ke se oba yen oji efio lo ebele na kan no ele ese cho fio ewo keje 1991 ni 247 e ba wo hemi kenu chumo to boni nyemi no no pa David abeyue e ba she iko confusion feel baba system me no me president Kufo Nitano you have a set be dia commission you have a bonu chulo ifin tuwe you na bo ametu na ke shake law ko club aba you law ni ba loji the basic national social security law ni G Act 766 ewo be na ke neke mla he na ba anake shin be chuchue SNIT tele no fin no akeshike muku ba pension be SNIT ba wo na kanja twen fin ewo bia na wona walo enyem enyo ewo wonyem me ba fe enyo ba fe ewo ye fe ten ewo 3-tier scheme shin woji onu pa ni yo ewo law den che recognize owo e ha wo the mandate to operate the tier 1 hallelujah ewo na keshin SNIT boni yo bia ne abia keshin te ba fitin mo ko ba nye join SNIT ewo fen mi nyame no egbla mi etwon wo ke oye afi nyuma ke enomo 15 years mla ngo bogbe na registerable for SNIT 15 years ke o register ne can 15 age 15 ne oba contribute home mokola on ba bia keshin at what age ni onyo join senate ewo ke oye afi nyuma edwe ke enumu nwele o akola keshi afi alo fi afi bone share be wonyen wo hani oba fitai no ne wo emigbla mokuku pe keke jia keshin keje afi nyuma edwe ke enumu ni 45 years ke oye 45 pepepe o anye wo ke bo awo no shika ohoi ewo ke o birthday ngene ni wo alo nye ni ngene pe 45 one day o bana ke shibe gba wona no ne wa fiole na kanji o ba tuning for the next 15 years mla he na kan mla he ko the next 15 years ke o ke fita 45 be o she 60 ewo 60 ke agbene wo pension ewo ke o se chechon ogblo na janshin alo sho na shia hu ke ba she iko agbene wonye wogbla bo ke ba fita wo jamoko ni ekole shishiji register mu ni ne register iflomi hu nwele at whatever age ko ba do she ko 60 oba anye ni oba chano na kanji boni eyo ewo nwene ni wo ba na yin ejenofio kwen mabi organizers akeshin ale no ameche JY ameche yaf yesho akeshi kola cha ameshi ameba shakoshi no ne wo penny you na kanji akeshin bepi ke ojenu chumonhie ka che pensions anepe be hime jien ka yeme jien jeme men's fellowship bia ache women's fellowship bia amba abotoe bia ne won create awareness pension ka che pension ke je first day no ba no appointment letter nyimbo domo na no na chumo peno o join pension. But the first day you get your appointment letter, you start thinking about your retirement. That is how close it is. You walk in your tuning for the next 30 years, 35. Crowd and check. 15 years. No chumo. No, I can back age 60 years. But I'm tuning to 45 years. For the next 45 years, you will join pension. You will mean over you on a kind. Ejacation, ni BP, and it's an old lake. Shishiji. Kahebo. Na pay ha boy ashishibu moko eni dan ba na ele ahun ne ba hele hien 10 years 15 years ime o ya na company e no pa ye dan wake wa nye se ehabo ewo ke next time won fi e wani me ni fita ye ni sani e benefita me o wa gbla me keba ke ka gbe ne wo ka me ya deep few ewo bia ne mla ni wo ke twon ni gi act 766 amendment le umba niji act 883 ewo no umba jaje ni bi e komefio ehawo shin femi no ni yo mi pe ja keshin mo fe mo no otuni efe no otun ni ye sani no chulo no chumo che niji onupa ni yo jemeni leji mo ni ehebo ya no chumo mi sani ewo senate nyomo ehabo ke government were government workers amralo no chumo ni yo ahiame be pin wo ame controller bi government ba pay ham ko otuni ye private company aba pay ham wo ba me ni denchele hu hia me no chumo wo kan ba wo ba yue no fio wo gben fen na ngene e fa fio wo small wo shin ye gbeten ton shin wo ba to bi koklun ne kole wo denchepo organize yourself ayu keke woba ewo mo fe mo ni government twoni e social security number ka wo le nyomo pe na ye pay slip no boni achele ke kwe mi an wo ba nyoba wo branches wo 51 branches ye Ghana fe dani wo ye area offices ni ko branches no mene ka nyina wo ye bi be beni iyo osu officer osu ari no me waya wudi mase neke won jeme hu beni aje keba stadium eni nshi te sunyani ngodomo na mba ga ekun ewo waya branches komeni osu Eben-Ezer ye oshishi niji osu old officer ewo beni woyo obi wona akeshin meni twoni ye officer abapio ha me ewo ke sane alo noko be branch ni ko onye no abangma woloke ya ke ameba ni woye na kan branch se fen 5 ni heni wojeke ba ameyo washishin alo waka metwon ni airport city osuwe na die akete airport yobana chunkoni mashitomo rocket airport city branch yemi ko jejeme obaba pension house jemele onwogbele branch yeshishin adabraka woye office yejeme Accra Central yani police station yo opposite neken woye office yejeme dani ko ba kolebu here no le e wa me fin wo Accra South area nke mine ni tajemene jemeji ye ni woyo ewo ke ale no mokoye saneku alo no ko ne egbe na keje bie ko ke wo yue ne ke branches na ni wo yo wo ka metwon ni ne wona egbe obanye ni wo kwe wo hambo chuchue wo for public education wa build your ark your TV no agbene ne kan Ghanaian language programs ne wo ka metwon ni ewo benefits pi ye ni wo blami ye ne kan programs ne ami ewo ngmene yongo domo na ni nneshe oblayo no mamile le corporate affairs ke wo director general mfagbede nche ka me no ya wo mani ebacha no shida ne ba wo ye self employed ni mokoye ne kole ke government chuni alo ke government chuni dan alo ke private chuni biane alo biane le den che ye no chumo alo ehia ni na no chumo chuchu we chole voluntary contributors biane won chakete me won shift won wolegbe koklo kemba self employed voluntary to money etai ko ahun edwan let me volunteer to volunteer job shin biane mo na kashin pension is actually a human right issue work what around last say work foreign affairs the embassies ni your BFN work me akpe foreign affairs work me UA it's a human right issue ni blofu me den cheni ke mla ba agbene san wo gbla ni bi am etwon e wo yeshiba mi am bo wotu ejin are le umba work me UA ona e wo ke self employed ni boden cho hionu tumo o ba registerable ke wo registerable no ha number o social security number ko ba bo emla to boni wonyemi no pa yue David yue bo emla efe bo han na kan ana twi ya han bo twi na ba ana bo agia keshin efe to bia na je law enforcement me compliance enforcement ke o ba wo sobo wa anya wo sobo ona aba wo sobo wa shinje no yu bia ne ona no no yu bia na ji won ha le marketing approach akeshi self employed ko ba but no ba feji intwo imponi inu twomone alo ye barbering shop alo mfi oneken e wo ko ba ka wo gblam la mi twombo no wo twombo no ba nyo fi ba nyo ka keshi nwo enyumo alo han neken every month e wo ka abumi be da anyo gbele contribution ni manyema pay no ne e wo rate ni wo feel ke ha formal sector ni government ke private company say we have the 13.5 to Senate and then 5% to tier 2. E wo ka gblamia ho ekole confusion ba abashin bo mo no tuni na cheboe achi obo 5.5. E wo call pay na ha boji 100 Ghana cedi o ha aba chebo enumo ke fa ni ji 5.5 keke money le no tumoni e ke 13% nyoma ke 10 efitai keke ka ba pay le won ka gblami ekokolo shinka boden choba ni boden cho ochuo no tumo wo ba no nu nshan keshin bia ne be ache moko akemoko no kofitai bo pay 13.5 e asinit nyoma tenkefa nyoma ke tenkefa 13.5 keke agbene no ni chano ja keshin tier 2 ni ji second tier bo na agbla mi echon wa keshin no we kan shi ka ba pay bo kutu no ele njemeji na kan gbefa no tutu e complain ni baji ke snit en wonyomo Senate no ne wa wo ne she iko wo na abofen to na ka ebe wo kwa da anyon gbele no ko ni tie 2 no le wo ka oba ni boden cho yon no tumo den che wo agbla mi etwon bo e wo ka oba wo cashiers wo cho am tellers bia ne wo cashiers a jema kepete e wo ye na kepete o ba na tie 2 bi efen ka megbe ke na me yo telephone numbers ye keke ko twa me oba anye ni shi tie one no ni ji wo no ke oba no ele ke wo gbla me twon bo oba anye pay 1 year ahead e wo to mo no wo yo mene wo ye August 2022 ne oba anye pay ka after 2023 July ni ko pese poden che eja ke she na ele won gbla poden cho no twmo no hie no oba anye ya se 1 year ni agbla otoi wo ame wo cho am self employed bia ne no no ke baaji won to wo bote hei ni ame dwemoji akeshinja ofitai alo coat dani obanyo na pension won bote katamonton ye na ho second hand clothes bronu wawo won bote jeme won bote aboso kan won bote spare parts dealers hei ni ahon electricals meni ho mamai many penny one bote jame fin eja ke shi law e ka ke shi taflache many your offices spe law ke mo fin mo ni ba anye e botemi ni ye e ha criteria e wo agbene no ni ko botemi no ba na machine jame e ha wonyemi yo koni leun e ba gbelami ke gbe na ke san e bi mo ko ye ke wo fin wonyemi no pa David leun ye bi ke wa wonyera don.
You find but I can't say that in assumed income. My guy is not so correct, but I'll try and mix it up with the English. Well, we know kutamo ke oba join is nete. What are the benefits that you can get? Whether ofintai uta office, uchuani a bank, alo boden home. Once you are contributing, more firm or not the same benefits. So we don't discriminate. Okay, oh well, prepaid, a local credit, so no benefits about it different from another. It's the same, and these are the benefits. None may pitch on the pension when you banani or apparently it get open. Hello, is that what you said? It's not, but that's what they say. So it's very common. Immediately you mention SNITs, the first thing that comes into the minds of people is open nation. But that's not it. We have other benefits that we deal with. Iwoke mukoye 60 years need a retirement. No na mature a pension. Allo be an retirement. That is one of the various benefits that we have. Another one hunji. Area invalidity pension. When I can blow for a go, it simply means that kake invalid person e try ke obey wale ona accident no kwe ninabo onyo chuni don. It's not your own way. Jake will touch me no decide ake ochuni don. And this one is backed by medical reports. We found out through investigations that a lot of people are condoning and conniving with their family and friends, doctors, because amenwake SNIT pure benefits go na chole invalidity pension. You know who inwake she come pay. It doesn't have any age limit. It's true. Obanona accident at age 25. Oboinga banye shila at 30. Loli banye trouble at 45. So it's true. There's no age limit to it. However, ke oyafe na kan kululue no ke medical report say ba wo ba he, but as I know na ke she SNIS le ho as a medical board team. So the same way no ya he na kan medical report say ba won experts, medical experts. It's made up of 2 general doctors from 2 general hospitals and then 1 from SNIT. Ka ke SNIT doctor ape tajeme obake afi partial. Ajemokome range, Ajemokome 37. Na SNIT doctor efatai, and they will sit on you. It was accessible. O report say no ke ba no ke o doctor ko be wale wo ba he aba accessible. Kuna na keshi lela ke ko fe ke o lakawalo onani alo na a doctor say no faith amonoko your me. They will see all that. E wo ke amedetermine akeshin lele you are incapable. That is where we come to pay you the invalidity pension. And about pay until you die, or hopefully till all medical condition will come back to normal. But we are in Africa. Unfortunately, can't have invalidity pension. The person will never feel okay till they are dead. Even though when they are okay, they will still say imbewale because they are enjoying. And we are saying this, we are urging people on. She many horny he can be a atamokola or for you don't know what holds for you in the future. One Janumo was things will go well, but we have unforeseen contingencies. Anything can happen. No one can face self-employed. He care no failure because you don't know what will be there in future. Mining companies can be no banana chemical could put in a underground no. If all these situations are the Mokwena stroke, we go to this medical board assessment say every last Friday of every month. So just last Friday we attended one. They can't stretch and can be. Some people even come, they can't raise their hands. Their families help them. So and interestingly, because the doctors will tell you that somebody even works there and is fit. In 2 days, the person can die. That is their field of expertise. They work out, make care, more, possible. And please, if you have friends and relatives, oh, it needs to be a male follow. I'm a lack of I report she needs a doctor say we are not medical experts. We are just SNIT officers. We are coordinating and leading you to the one who has the expertise. No channel, no tuning. Sometimes the person is say 56 or 55. Dr. Abanya recommend our work. Apply for reduced pension. Yes. Or there's something called hazardous. The condition there is not favorable for you. No, but you apply. It shouldn't be that as soon as I brought the medical reports by force, as an army passing, and then they tend to say that SNITs told a lie. We don't tell lies. Ours is go and meet them, let them assess you. If it is true you are unfit, about passable. If you are not fit, then you continue working. So that's another type of benefits. The third one is what we call the survivor's lump sum. It was survivor, me, I am leaving. I have a SNIT contributor or pensioner as my mother or as my father. Now, can SNIT contributor or pensioner, ego. So I'm surviving that person. What it is that, it is the person who has a contract with us and not me, the family member or the relation. Or me no, she can't you me need me no. About lamplet together, about feel ekome. Jenny not about this best no, it's monthly no or what? Young Billy, you get it. Because we don't have contracts with you, the family member, it is the contributor or pensioner. It will find this part I want to throw more light on it because it's very disturbing. People come to our offices and they will say, oh, me I made misika, me say me this can, me not my ishka, go, I know it's just formality. We don't know what will happen tomorrow. Please, you are sure that when you are lying in your grave, like the way my late father is in Osu Cemetery now, he will be at peace. Because what's a call you are going to worry your family members. Which is why we advise that, I'm sure that everybody here can attest that the very first day you walk to SNIT, Ababi Wakeshi, what's a call Buena Meba Hushka, often I can question every other. Okay, Bioda. A worker or how a name say, we expect you should be updating it. Mabanaka updates area so that we understand it better. A worker, oh papa, lo mommy, oh sister, oh husband, go. needs a yeshkako yesnete. The money is for him. She ne nominated while I chok bear me wo. Bono banale as a huge sum once and for all. Ajami ahabonake abake wake bahile on a monthly basis. So no, it's a benefit that you can get. O janyaka wouldn't buy ish cash ko go e mukule buy ahabo. Amen. And another benefit is child support. Child support. You are a self-employed person. I love when you feel nutriment back. Sneeze being a club and ban I will came back here mini no any manner. If for nothing at all, call a BA. Please think about the future of the children. Child support. The laws we are working with instruct us. We don't sit in the comfort of our homes or offices and decide to do anything. The law says, SNIT do this, MPR do that, Alofa and Mali. Exactly. A law, okay, and the child is a dependent on somebody who is a SNIT contributor or pensioner. O check o check nomination you. Meneke o boy. Automatically, na can be 60% of your entitlement. Osumo, 60%. That's what the law says. Yes. Webanya fiake beken is below 18 years. Allow the number of children no she who say they are below 18 years. No need SNIT describes it as child support. E woke oba SNIT balance me no one child support. Jaka show obikone 19 allow 20 or 35. Anybody who is below 18 years is a child. And the law takes care of those children. I know that this place is Presby. I went to Presby for like 3 years when I was a teenager. So I know that Presby for Omudi Omuhini. But we are still humans. Let me say this. I'm a bit biased when I'm talking about this because of the kind of experiences we have had. So the men, I know that some women will do, but the men, please try as much as possible that OBFN 04 in your marriage, do outside your marriage, come a fan was nomination name. What says Sunday? It's very sad. Ye banekeni warfare investigations no one ake asomwa a B2-3 outside a marriage and you a police. She need boy, it's come up. The law didn't say girlfriend's child, allo concubine's child, allo one night stand child, a child. A work back and later so as long as we do the investigations and we realize that the person is a child of that dead person, I'm sorry, SNIT can't do anything. We include that child. And that is the only situation where SNIT, okay, it's not the only situation, there are other situations. So the first situation is that, for example, daddy nominates me, ni mingbo, nejo kongbe ejeme, kele, you won't die now. Go later, and it's found out that I am dead. We don't pay monies to ghosts. It was me portion. I used to PND to law. Ke nominates me. She go eshimi. No, we don't pay monies to ghosts. So about our me independence, many they were relying on me. Can't pay him. Hello, I had somebody in my will, and the person is actually my ex-spouse. Inkele hishi work blind efite. And still, I'm having old one information here. Bele say about investigations. Can I care as someone man egg New York jeme in emomoni no law care aka pay shikaha wumomo along a momo. So I think I'm trying here, my God. I pay shikaha ex-spouses. It was no PNDC law baba me. Then child support anywhere. So these are, let's say, the 3 or 4 instances. Penny SNIT, banye kake, onele one very nomination. No po is the law that is allowing us. Otherwise, nomination fair any more about pay SNIT. Amoko lakapo. Ake oh mamile ni tajeme as Mr. Ashite, Mr. Mensa. Auntie, I can't lay it's a Germany, it's a lie. Nobody can change any nomination anywhere. What the person what we do. Unless I can this instance say by me. NMFN doesn't come in. For example, Yojibo, Owegbo, and you had like 5 children with a man. She needed now investigations can interview can offer no. It came that UC, it was Faseko. Sometimes it's forgetfulness, so it's not deliberate. Ne join is nature no me o black nujile, a miracle. Dan any ba chake eke mene so ju ya. Beno bana no it's a retirement or something happens then he dies. Or if you are a wife or a child, no can happen born na. Snitch can't do anything. The only thing about your face you buy a court, no ya care Sunday to the judge. And then you'll be included in the snitch nomination. No, it's not automatic. So it depends on the mood of the judge that day or whoever you goes to meet. Court variation or court inclusion. A court say, okay, Darby, it's not letters of administration. There's a process no buyer through. A worker oba no what a court variation. Court no barrier. Senate officer say management by eligible. Koya pick form koye court say kokeba. A court say no judge in wuji ashimashi ni nkele for 6 she know what is nete ake one nomination moko be me ake wo fa se ko be nyo mi o fine no ba nyo fe no koye ha no ka wa fatai if things that what you are saying makes sense they can include you. If the judge thinks it doesn't make sense they won't, or it's not automatic. You can go there and a judge will say okay ni ba will eli ake show ye jeme ko bi e ma ba ne ke go fatai. So it's decision, Darby. I won't argue. Judge I think because dates grand if a nomination or me a miracle. What you are saying makes sense. Anima arguable. So decide. The judge can even decide to allow you can be a wife fail a fine or a me share. Corey pay a banner empathy humble. She caught a no and Oyanina leg because a wife near here fence shall call we back here, madam. We are not including you. I'm saying this for us to understand that we need to do updates of all our records in Senate. But no fear or will go no back okay ba lawyer was a can go in boshini neke. Do the same thing for Senate because no who will no she. It's very important. A worker will update on nominee say it's important actually. Oba include more fame or no to ba na kan information name. And this thing happened in Wenchi when you were in Sunyani and I was in Wenchi. So I know Mr. Opose long in that Bronga Hafu region. So Mami ko papa ko ba office say energy ake true story. That was my first test I had as a Senate officer. I will be fresh. Ni in ta office papa go ke mami ko ba me ke mami me be me Senate will some will see they be 80 Mrs. Okay 80 Mrs. Okay and see family reading ye ngani yo be ke gbe afi 100% ni che mami le gbe ha mi ba ngale fefo okay na mete then the next 20 minutes me and you know na ba che mi yoko madam papa na samba this time man eba without a nga eba alone. It's funny, eh? It's happened. Papa leba alone. E wani na le nike oshino kolone fe mineke. What does that mean? Okay. Ni mwana ni nke mi neke imba eko mi mama chaki. Nike ma ba neke jo nu chu mo akeke fe chaki mo. Wa chaki mo. And it is true, that's my job. So I kept quiet and I changed it for him. And this time around, they was saying, it is in Wafasi, actually, they check guy no 100%. So okay, with Jemmy. Wenchi is a very small town. If I know by here, everybody knows you. In less than 3 weeks, it is so more. Me follow the baby. Nina papa le poster 1 week observation. Ego. So people were saying a lot of things in the town. Mamile Nigbele and our Yare and our Nerin saying Chobe, can you be? But you and I were not there. Were we there? That's what they were saying. But we are in Africa. Things happen. Who knows that when he took the woman brought the woman to our office, the woman knows very well, say, any baby or it could be true or not. What I want many family abake wake papa lego. Now me ba mamile. You call me, Madam, so kai me. Madam, so kai me. And I was so surprised because I was expecting to see Mokone Weboni, a phony. She was very excited. Okay, Mikao, pass Dano and James, Mikao. Mikune wo. We won't see no. Yeah, the papers. Okay. So, Agbene Esha verdict, Minka manager, Kamene here. Well, no know about you. In the end, as I know what Kela and Kwaliake, Mammy, the very day you came here, will Eku say ba Eku Ibachaki. Initially, a boy mi jemo a low mommy can be Ake meaning Chaki. She made a will only a wekume. So we have to. I'm saying this because, Ona, can it be, and you include men no use or men. You create problems after your death. And it could even be true, okay, this woman had a hand in his death. It could be. If we are Christians, we are still Africans. People do things. Yes. So, fine, a cock and mokobafe, or snitch nominee, a low beneficiary, where chok bekono. And okay, a trouble, Jemima or Fury. She okay back with. O Jemima to spell or letten. No middle name, I can't let Jemmy. Find a nice way, get it, come and sit in front of Senate officer and do it nicely and go away. Boy, wherever the people are, we'll find them and pay the money. Moko doesn't go easy with Senate nomination. A woman come and badam bakewake, oh, we boy. Eliakashi will lay 6 children outside Leleke. A BA, but if I hide information, we can afford 2 pay. They can be there only 2. Can of investigation say no one ake they are 8 back when you thought you are quali and Jenny came back here work a shame 8 Ubahang can be a sky. Come on, bear Jemmy will pay. If the person's name is not there, you can go up and come down. We currently have a case in one of our branches. Mami Leba introduced Bekenko 13 years as a late husband B. New affair investigation said when ake asuma a house help near a previous marriage. Near Kod Beken Tamo a B. Near Beken Bafata a current husband a B because ake 60% of snitch entitlements can be now below 18. So she thought she could cheat the system. Warfare no ko her name say no affair investigation when that child is not a biological child of the dead person. One more than no collect why prosecute the courts. They boy if I come on no shile. You can't cheat the system. Please take notes. A war ke oboy nuchumo you marry your wife or for OB. When I was single, me in using in brothers 3 near me here say ni marry no ni sweep I'm a 3 FN off ni can we leg bear with Jemmy ni but it's my choice. No fear, you can do it. I'm trying to let you understand that you can change at any time. Ni form be you and ni sweeping will leg bear ni can be you with Jemmy ni form be no ni can know a fatter you. And right now, they are the 2 people on my nominee. Then they are there. I can decide to maybe sweep 2. Yes. So I swept off brother's spouse. Now they are my children. So yes, you can decide to do it anytime. No me you mo ko ye winchiona your officer say. Ka wana le no mo fa ke mami le ba never chaki. E fe ahu mo fe wana le. Ka ba pe. Ne chaki anye ha mi ina bi le ke ntun le ya. inabile ekomeche ni se nkele babie ona be no me chulo me officer jemu agem this morning mahale ko nse ni me yaso money nke ba o money nation efonda ke one like almost every month in the office because e ke nu ake wo check your anytime well we check you ke chu inabile ne ya you need free mu ke e se ko hey agbe na check e o fine ona ekomeche bo emi ba ke la wo mi. Yes, it's your decision. You can do that at any time. Anytime. Wohe shika. Court is in office. No, you have nomination. Moku ke wakeshi. Ahi oshka. Report more na mole. Ahi shika. Yeah, it's need nomination name. Na kanon you call print those statements. Le huwa ahi shika. You offer neke o update o telephone number. O check your phone. You no shi ano yo check no hu asanoba na no update. Or email, be an quarterly statement. Or email is very accurate with that. So, every quarter I will send you a statement. SNIT is going very digital. Well, please try and go with us. Yes, it's important. Ni NIA and SNIT number measures is ongoing. Be an no banyo card come afe. Will have a beconu or up and down, no here cards be. Cards be your wallets, me mokobajani, or your scabamo you will follow. A war any card you could be paid, then you do all the transactions. A war careful way. Ubanyo dial *711*9#. That's the short code. Allo enter any SNIT office. Now fair and habo. Ufane you are done.
You ufane Yamin wenyo dano baba mi ke few ba fita wale die etuni ye wenchi nino mie benefits ye in charge e woni bia na egba anya fe wo che moko gba mo na shiko ni nyeke kase ni e wo je aka esa ni etuni ye benefits ni make applications eba ni claimants wo twa me claimants me na eba the survivors benefits can it be ni handle ke issues ni ame encounter e wo no mene eba enrich program nyami yo oira don ke court variation che ke gbeke alo gbeke bi na me family mi alo mo ekwame je do biological alo le den che musumbi do shin ka kwe na adopted children ke ni bi wo lo ke child wo ke wo kwemi no na akeshi o lele obi no ele ehia akeshi abifao alo gbeke le ya court no ele mla ha snit egbe e wo snit den che ya kote ke ha be can be e wo ka hia me ka mokome me nyo me ten ka te there will be a variation what you call court variation e wo no juno na echiten ke e wo jaje den che ba busani a case by case basis ke eke akashi o mla ke akama wo mi e wo no ele definitely e wo nya wo hia me e jakashi is a social protection scheme afi ko ni adesan ya hia akafia me akeshin wose ke ochonse alone no ko can be before being no shine there will be a burden on society it was an afi provision ke ha me it was mla ha ni can be a for issue mukono da na ba court we then che will take up it upon ourselves no ya court ke ka gbala she ke bo spouse e fatalo na eni na boe na shiogbe no le bodenche ba to lawyer e wo to ni ke court no ano lawyer no lawyer e ba court ni ba akwemi ni woni bi fe mo le won he play mo kode ko basnit ni mo compare ka en akashia be contribution pure allo e ko le to a print biometric card ne ken allo a student loan chuchu blema bi e be na me student loan e ke be ba repay a loan wo he ka play mo kode no fe no no fe free e wo ko ya safo na mi no ye claim ko no ko ba na ke journal lawyer dan dabi boy ba officer ko ba officer no ye challenge ko what they me no na wone ko ni na wo no ko sanin me won o awabo that's fine thank you
I think I know feel ojubo anya o feel ojubo I get where microphones on 3 ye bien keji noko bote im yojubo habu alo esa de poten ko do to obi e be kan gbe shi fane Uncle Ruby, maybe first question. Okay. No de wo me pi nya snit pi mo ye dia ke mokuba pension e ke wo kwani mo etuni afiabo ke ganjuba ke ahale troke kwenjwe ndujuno ni iwa me pi ro wanya gbla mi fi anwo boni fi oni snit equally arrive ake neke mente neke jibon sani akabu. What goes into it?
Okay. Mr. Fonyiko, thank you. Snit, boni wonu chumo yo watomo aishe mirror. Ona. Ke boni oyo no dumo here no ko here na kan obana. Woko ye no ba sa ikole ojeku. Eke ojaje otali efi alo itwe na kan. Snit no chumo boni yo o salary na payable. Niji oda nyongbele na wo boy. No akọ na calculator percent contribution na ba payable. Shishije agbami first says snit here no fen no 17.5 ni mla ba chake e wona ke 13.5 ba e wo practically work 2.5 ya health insurance the case snit e manage 11% to mo woni David you e wo shika ni ba wo ngo bia ne e reduce because we are sharing it with others. She will know what all the defined benefits. Second tier, third tier, there are contribution based, or defined contribution. As to how they will invest it and the returns they will get is how they will pay you. You will talk about like Chuni, get treasury bill, allow investment 30, a buffet, a payable. She will know to oblige you. What Tony be no harm, or Mokajiji. It will okaplent okobaba. Keboni wo ba habu shin wo ke bu akashi o ko otuni ni oshani nabu wo ba payable noji invalidity pension e insurance ye ke otuni no gbo. These are contingencies that maybe ni ba happen ko otuni no gbo wo ba payable agbene ke ibala akashi otwon se oshika senate mokoye oshika ye senate e kan je meken abu e wo won suma akashi ke bu oye wala mi no ba pension Chicago no ke hanwo o wa kwenu no no kwa fake calculation abo. Wonye me no David actually ke o question it but no computer benefits here. Won kwe o best 3 years salary. Best 3 years salary ni o ke hanwo o pay contribution ne e ko la pay obo 100 cedis. E wo 100 cedis na pay obo e. O ba pay ke 13.5 o pay 13 cedis 50% in senate. She'll pay 100 cedis. She called by retirement test. Snit should be able to pay you close to 100 cedis because of formula ni what you saw. Best 3 years, one of the qualifying conditions ni input of the computation. Okay, what called qualifying conditions? O age, o 60. Call by before 60, 55 upwards. Or by reduced pension, kabata age 59. Okay, after that, on number of months no fee. Banye chon wakeshi oshika no ke ba won invest for a long time dan no boba here lo e won invest for the next number of years ni won na keshi o fe 240 months which is 20 years previously the 247 PNDC lot alo bia ne mla here o fe 180 months which is 15 years e wo ke ne fe share percentages here ni ba computation em. Shin the first aspect niji o salary ke oba pay no ko bibio e han wo no oba pension boni calculation yo few no pay na kan no akwa wo bonyumo mene ni wo yu ne wo shida mo mi ne won pay mo ko pension 142,000 plus every month je 1 year ke nyon gbo e ko ke batutu ska mi e ko lo wanu jujugba billions da nyon gbele na kan hale yo ba na keshin sinite nyumo ke wo ye eja keshin ke nyumo ke wo be scan wo pio ne ona keshin crisis fio ni ba ni se ni banking institutions financial institutions can be fair pensioners fair ni yo mi won pia me pepepe moko ba ne ba ke 3 months ne wo pension bako onu ekoda 4 months ne wo pension bako me na me ntuni na wa me da nyongbele nyumo she pay den che be kuma cho ise gblash she's knitting bomoden e wo fe je boni wo program ni bi ha ke a payable ni my example ne because practical one e be homo na she first doctors can nurses say ke amechuni ameyenoko amechole additional duty hours allowance chuni wakola ke sha pay 1,000 Ghana cedis 1,000 Ghana cedis na appeal e allowance pi solo petrol shika solo a lunch solo after work neke tajeme na emergency ko ba bona ba hale wo ko bua na fe to 10,000 she pay on snit 1,000 ne expect her she ke ba retirement snit ba pay 10,000 bona yi o she no e pure contribution on 1,000 moko ye ni doctor ke ba ni time e she e pa additional duty hours allowance wo ke abolition 2 hours 3 hours ke ba clock ele akeshin government ba pay allowance she yin pa na akeshin fita salary me kuma fe ahun ame hours na me na 24 hours in a day yo ba na akeshin be gboma de samodin be na wale be le hu e wo fe ji akeshin edamo percentage na ba pay e hambu bia ne po esnit bomoden ahun to the extent akeshin ka che minimum wage e share 300 alo ba ko 300 if you ona she me kuma eni ka wo fe ame no wo na akeshin oh mene contribution dey fair ekole month na fair ye 60 years e ho 180 months say she mo bua ho e chuni implement no pa ko da ne be ba he no me pesos ka wo fe ekole ba kan 250 alo ba kan no she san no top up ke ba share no wo chole minimum mla e mo ko wo kwe akashi wo pay minimum pension minimum wage na yo she wo bo mo den wo pay e wo many your correct salary no ka me retire okay ko oh ame na abisa e wo je ni wo klo no ko keke e hwe hia me bia na benefit e bone yo be ko wo bla mi pi mamile pi ya ichomi shi be wo wo ye ko ni oba na keshi no ochu ni ne ekole me no ke chu ni sani o pay social security ko pay social security boko ye ni health insurance aspect 2.5 ke ya health insurance ko to I renew ONHI o pay no ko don e ja keshi o 13.5 2.5 in your snit e wo ko se je me am check snit number ya me system no ka me kwa e ka me ke o number is active allo is inactive ke is active be pure 5 cd pe me mfi o ye info ne no 6 cds akete po bia ne ona e wo 6 cds e wo ke o pay onye workers allo worker jibo no o employer and pay ne benefit e ko me ne na agbene ke pay le nwe ni wo se no gbo allo no kopo e o ba twa e shina o ye jen lo no moko no kele tuni 10 15 years 20 years ago ba ko ba to shina ba ke o mene ye che mi kra mana no ko fi o shi ke ye pension na mo ba na ni da o tuni eta o ye shia o tun no ko don na paybo no ko bejele mi to mo na kan paybo da anyongbele do tuni eta yi no tuni bia no te o silebi o ta to ni mi o ya anu tumo ko po ba shia shagbene no ye 60 tan ake o bo ya anu tumo po ebo ta shia no fe no cross more leg enjoy mo o paybo da anyongbele mi ne ye o jele mi ni ngo fe neke ona one what take upon ourselves no ba educate me thank you
okay yeah let me add this one snit pension benefit ni bi the number of months ni oba contribute keke o 3-year annual average salary ni bi ni magblam no botwe ke ofe 150 months 180 months o qualify for 37.5% of nakai o average 3 years I hope you are understanding me. First under 247 no me 50% ke o contribute 240 months energy 20 years ke o average 3 years o best 3 years no ni snitch fee January to December salaries ne ba na no ju annual salary neka sanine ameke TUC ye woje ni aye neka sanine she no ele no kokroni but bona me amebuoleji January to December salary ni ba me de ke 3 months pe by media, that's your annual salary. 10 months by media, that's your annual salary. 1 month by media, that's your annual salary. Okay? The call statement and I'm a calculator annual salary, January to December. Okay. You know, average about 3 best years of your annual salary. Blema kemo continue here, come here, but 30 years. To my public service be here. The word public service be here. I'm a final salary say at their best salary. I'm a best 3 years supposedly because if you are promotion can it be in Bami? Was our generation Mineke intrake chumo shiete. Nimi machake ko sakawa bi na kan. Wo chun ye. Ni o chun ye. Your annual salary say about chaki. It may not necessarily be your terminal salary. No ko baba ni o wa ke o chun ni e no chun ni e don. Ni obanyo ya ekoklo ni pay ye lower. Saka wa bi na kan wo yo. Ni wo, what is happening is that one, contribute more the number of months. After the first 180 months, 37 and a half. Every other year, now 1.125% capital. Up to a maximum of 60%. There was even if your average 3-year salary is 100 cedi, okay, about payable maximum 60 cedi, okay, minimum 37.5 cedis. I hope you understand it. I don't want to use the word gaming the system. I may explain about mobile. You don't need to game the system. No like tuning for more months. Koni o increase o percentage credit between 37.5 to 60. Koni leun kenyumo dromo ni uchumo mie salary say ya pay good no o 3-year average ba pay good. Na can ni bi enyo na multiply. Under 247 I'm a pure 80% maximum. 100 CD I think I'll tune into more 30 years over. Okay? Okay, ke o chunie o pay or snit monthly. Monthly and o pay or shika and o pay or number of months. Okay? Ne wo ekole month eko pay 100 cedi, eko pay 200, eko pay 50 based on your salary. Ke aba pay bo pension first ba kan o month without o money. No tuni how many months to contribute. Ne mean ke akeshiboni street structure your for pension. For you to earn a monthly pension, first Sani o contribute minimum of 20 years. Need 240 months. Because it's monthly contribution, we calculate on month. So 240 months minimum. Ni oba qualify. Ninaka minimum qualification about 50% pension right. Okay, 240, 247. She be Antone. Work minimum 180 months, need 15 years. Ni no about 37.5% pension right. Okay, what pension right? It's basic number of months. Every year, every 12 months, you know, 180 a year. Obana 1.125% kefata. Hey, kefata 37.5. Okay, imba koshka be number of months. Up to I'm a maximum 60%. Okay. Now, agbene what bashka de. We call a number of months ni o contribute abo 40%. No account. Agbena baba shika. In shika between January to December ababu. Ka bue ke ona 12 months total. Enye. Okay. Another no not 12 alone well ekolo tuning for 6 months pe. E won no ababu 6 total. Now ke o retire abakwa ke total annual na fe ne. O best 3 years total sniom keka find average. Onu mission. E wa no me ni bi enyone ni ba ni mo kwa na 142,000 a month, ni mo kwa na 300,000. That's what I wanted to explain. No work won pay ni smart. Waka nga wo make won chuka. Chu no na more man e ka John 15 years. Be come oji onu chumo shini okay whether o employer am pay. But no back 10 years na ke o lose nye 120 months. What fortune? She go na mo fortune. Go fortune. Ona bo responsibility ni reform say ni ba ko tier 2 especially tier 3 bo voluntary what je gbe wa fail voluntary eja ke wona keshi ke ake okoshika ya snit bo den che mepi ke ya okay no wo ape mandatory no she voluntary mepi efe ni wo ya no wo ko nya keshi voluntary 16 na afeje meji game changer ona no wo bo den ono akeshi ma update incident record ma kwa akeshi in employer ekeshika yalo na ka no ke mo for tier 3 bo problem ni mo ko nyu e ba wo je ni bi e na meyu o ka o ka me pan gbe mi nje o baba ko ka me pan gbe mi nje o baba ni be ko me ko ta sani e mobo e ko le mo check date ye controller e check date ye snitch every time e we ba complain against snitch pay okay o ba che snitch keke o che mo o ba kwa age cheating e ko ni oyo court ne mo onukwa wa for the past 3 years let that che boy enu the boy pay mo wa okay because a system okay she ton bona me it's an insurance company. SNIT is an insurance company. Ewa bonika ya shan oka no ya he motor claim na ba mo aka no ke o cheat system no to ya he claim ba mo bu ewa enme pay no wa she pay tax you know he was self-employed he ne a retire ne ka SNIT ake a best 3 years skada ewa apele ne SNIT ke o last period of your working life, pay jump from 100 cedi to 10,000. No game system, they were pay. Okay, enu shishi. Neke ba woje. Ni wawa ba yesanye. Wache sinite ba blan. Wache lewu ba blan. Ni wake sinite akmagbe. Jeda ne wakame kmagbe. Ameli. Jeda ne wakame kmagbe. Waje akeko ba. Snitch by you, what you are, you don't know what come back. She never come back. What a court. Ona, no one maybe someone in blame me, maybe along with that knowledge, they try to game the system. But Tomobani Boni insurance company, but Snitch insurance company, tier 2, tier 3, be a insurance companies, Jamie. Ama me tomo mutual fund, unit trust, Bonafiole. She SNIT insurance company no one pay obunakai survival benefit life insurance ni nyele nagai survival benefit life insurance it was SNIT in payable pension a payable life insurance benefit onu mishi that na pay validity ele no tier 2b amo no solo because ame no j insurance ame boni o contribute plus interest ni ame ba bomode na mba na ke o retire ke fe ba. That's the difference. Thank you.
Thank you. Wabeti sam mas money. Okay, uyesane kubimo mas modo woni no kun waka no wono afi. Ko yesane kubumo woni no kun wona no afi. So 1 2 3 4 5 amepa mba bisade. Ba fa ko ni nya Michael say. What bisade e fen ke ogbena ko na me afen ito. So 1 2 3 4 5 I think 6 or 6 hands. What Michael say? Koni wobike obi fen water. Keke ame answer fen. Thank you.
Fine. The first one is that sorry, I've forgotten the name, but from NPRA, you were talking about the fact that you don't.
Then will be once more will be 80 sang. The offer will question a very brief and one question per person. Thank you.
All right. So the question is, you said that you don't pay tax. I know that when they are taking out your, you don't get taxed on your SNIT contributions or your SNIT contributions. So you were saying that up to 35% you don't pay tax. I don't really get that part. Is it that if, like, let's say you pay 1,000 cedis as your basic salary, they'll take the 350, and then you won't pay the additional taxes that come after the basic salary deduction? Then second, okay.
Mofemo, Obi Ogbena, ask your questions. When you are done, we'll answer. So just ask your questions. I'm just taking note.
All right. And then you're also saying that based on the same 35% question, some companies choose to pay for their employees the tier 3. Are there any benefits to the companies that pay the tier 3 as well? And then finally, this one is for the young people here. You are encouraging us to subscribe to pensions and all of that. But looking at the current trend in our country, the city depreciation, cost of living, and etc. If we look at our money now, in a few years' time, is it still going to be where the same, is it still going to hold that same value that we should continue with the SNIT? If that's the case, are there other ways that we can incorporate so that we can build our, should I say, our retirement portfolios? Yeah. So those are my 3 questions.
Your question is private person jibo, like or run no business. She be komeyanike hotel requirements for pension. If you're a bit by retirement, he hotel or claims like hotel or pension. About people so many things. When you are on the field there, to my example, okay, not appointment letter, but now increase or salary, no board resolutions, and mean low because why are meetings ni me you on a cash and I can time baba people ni BP, ona can nibi or can me, only the share or pension or time ni or need.
Me no G or akpa in your five many peers need one pafike sneeze contributor come at a sneeze hospital. Aqua me few. When she can't I've been able to sneeze to mark by here. Many a young Aham and I may pay more when you believe I care about retirement and I quick as you didn't change your heel. Can you in your get
Okay, it's on the Bimo Agaji. Ntama Biake. Ntama Biake. Pension salary bangachi no afinelo. Agbere no ni enyo. And the bank ka skati dem mama me ji ofi ogo ye no lo. No ni ji eten. O ye gbe no ji ofin lo alo san no shi eko.
Thank you.
Sorry, earlier you made mention that you are trying to come into the informal sector. So you are trying to get SNIT contributions from people in the informal sector. And I wanted to ask that for somebody, say at a market, that his income is not regular. Today you could get 70 cedis, tomorrow it's 100 cedis, the next day is 150. How do you calculate the 13%, especially for somebody who, as a trader, he would declare himself as self-employed, so he pays the full contribution. How do you calculate his percentage?
Thank you.
And in your first few years, let's say 10 years, you work and then contribute SNIT. Then after 10 years, you get a job outside the country. Is there a way of redeeming like in 10 years no pay? o active years o I use o active years outside. Or no true is there a way you can redeem na kind no before it will reduce pension na akwa 55 years allow Josh pension age before no contributor. Is there a way I guess you no redeem na kind years any to 10 years no off year before go I spend all years again they go be no about ogbo no go na kind year.
Thank you very much, Mr. Wow.
Aning Nkebo, last question Jason. Okay. Yes, tomo 10 years any o contributor law call akeshin ke onye ofe minimum contributory months akoshka habo back at a certain interest rate. I think currently it's 50% of the prevailing 91-day treasury bill. She used to be in play at 91 day. She knew what na can sanya me kesnit what bekuna. She law 50%. What 10 years every year I calculate contributions over here. Keka apply 50% of the prevailing 91-day treasury bill at that time. Keka add for back a lamsa because of a minimum 180 low 240 if it is in the previous one. But no konakanye. Ni even if I reverse no where ke o contribute your money ni o immigrate ke o matu MPRA obaha trustee say tier 1 tier 2 tier 3 trustee say hegbena me kosh kambo no okay agbe employed ni ele machine snit be ebo na me calculator she indexation no more could be ake and menolo every year mla ha higbe akeshi snit a index pension ni kame index ameke ba woje ni waba approve wakame ba disagree wakame ba agree akeshi indexation na me ha ifa alo ifa now mla ha na me use wage ake contribution say na me receive an increment wage increment ni be komele nwe snit ye no ko na efio ni actual solidarity na ye good no na efio ji ke indexation e 12% e banye eke akeshi eke 4% ba memo fe mo no in amount e wo ko la ke snit pension 100 million ne ke ba meno 12% solo salary solo mokono ke efele na kan shika che ba na shika onyafo le ba na no shi no ni snit fio ni eke differentiator as a social security system ji e ba ka ke okay 12% e ba 4% e ke ba multiply 100 million e we ba na 4 million na kan 4 million e ba divide by number of pensioners no ne ba na e ke ba memo fe mo no absolute okay keke 8% ni ba hwe no ni e ke ba keep level say bonu mi bi wo keke ba feel percentage level say ni yo no ba yin ka pe obo small ana shineka solidarity na ni snake ke wo a computation na mi e ha akushinko e wo be come mokoni about snit pay below the minimum wage she be come yani am a contribution is below the minimum wage e wo ke I pay pension akemo fe mo ba nwe through neke solidarity ne dani aka indexation no she every year will make sure akeshi pensions are in is in the law ni wo no twumon okay mokola umbi now only free medical to sleep contributors ke housing sanene inwe your inwe your TV3 inwe your AP SNIT did not promise you a house. SNIT did not promise you medical this thing. Nibiye ni SNIT if you offer their investment. Bona penenye pay bo adequate pension. Taflache keke habo no awomi. Na mo contribution oyo. Moko baba retirement ni bo ye twemi. Na shikana kepele. No eleke efe na kan wo ba wa memo. E won wo fe won na akeshi Kesnit nye pay. It's an insurance company. Ne promise benefit. Ke nye pay benefit aba wolemo. Alo aba agule. Chuye keni bi eno na if you they are supposed to be investment. Ni ba wale ne pay pensioners. No me kenye pensioners ke onani mega ame pay rent keni bi abo pensioner ame yo. Ni ne ken sanele before TMP I want one. But ke ote snit pension portfolio mi ona ke ni bi na pe na me pe ame to hipaye. No one can hold lodge wale, it is to your benefit. Because a banash catcher could buy, Koni enash capi, make a pay or benefit. What your concern should be is that, and if none is need pay or boy, a bomode and low bomode, no abanya or kelai. She can't point to money or boy me or biane, Benu about retire, snit egu. She can't hold a very cheap. She make my contribution a few on here. So I encourage Lakeshi. Eka ya social house name. She because actually say Kakeshi snit company etogu. A sustainability is under threat. We are worried as regulators. Because I may pay na kanibi a own. Me pay botema your Germany na can snit ama metabi botema. Na me priceless according to market and baby work. Agbene ageo pension contributed when I mean to amechino. She called return snake about scheme me. They were one panify. Yen nake no ni penny snake promise ake ba paying pension. Invalidity the insurance benefit keke life insurance. E wo me. Keke salary gave me ke claim benefit le Atimoko no about salary. Okay. Now, machine okay. Now, 35% emolument first guy will be questioned. No need mean you can't pay 100 cedi. I overpay tax. Pay as you go. Okay. Now, no need government take care of Jackesh. Danny overpay tax. Aje o 18 and a half. No. Noni ba shwe dana ache a tax. Okay. Now ke oko ba pay tier 3 lanwe. E ke asa ache 16 and a half cedis no. E wo bo 100 cedi na pay obo monthly e. E ke ache 35 ke ya pension dana tax. Compare yourself to mokuni efe kukra. E wo le 100 cedi about tax on all the 100 cedi. Shibwe, ona 35 care mego. Our tax will lower. Even for tax planning purposes, it's always good to join a 3-tier pension scheme. It's very, very important. We have inflation, can it be a retirement portfolio builder? My answer is simple. Can Kebo retire? Ni here 200 cedi. Ni bo here 100 cedi. Ni inflation ye 40%. In Kebo na monohi. Ni wa retire. Enjoy aka inflation wo le no ni ma fe. Min Kebo aka whether inflation jo, exchange rate jo, no fe no contribute to the 3-tier pension scheme. Bona fe ni ke oda aka inflation ye come. Shika aka ye come. Whatever the macroeconomic situation contribute to a pension scheme so that at any point in time, onye no koyode ka onye 50 cedi ni mi 70 my come pi febo ngba inflation yo she was saying inflation affect why she bo inflation you didn't contribute. Do you understand? Whatever the economic situation, find a way to join a tier, a scheme. Koni o contribute. Bona penny was a oye akafibo. Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
The benefits for the employer.
Okay. will not look at the employer per se, but I will look at you. What we say is that in a pension arrangement, one of my slides, in a pension arrangement, no fair no employer contribute on your behalf, invest in you. Do you understand? It vests in you. And I give this example. Tomo bekume akeke skoba ni union be akaba fe provident fund. Employer akele ba fe 5%. Ameke da bi enmeno ke enmeno amefe. E wo no ni mi nko abeji. Komo ni employer akele ba fe 5. Ni bon o fe 5. Beni aba je shishin keke employer a match o contribution. In terms of interest, they own 100% to move. Then bo pay 5 cedi. Employer don't care 5 cedi back be. She pay your account is vested in you. No fair no employer back contributor collect more interest. Oh na, in a place where the employer is paying equal amount, about 100%. Then if farm manager can no be fatai. No, any institution know you as an employee. Anytime your employer want to contribute to a provident fund, encourage it, regardless of how much. Because you pay over 10, you like 4%. 10 CD, 4 CD. That is what 40% from the word go. You want both 10 CD no contributor. About credit to account 14 CD. Then number of 40% pay 10. On a dani interest fee community farm manager bana. So it's not a benefit to the employer. Minto no na like bo benefit. E work out negotiate la kamole. No phenone kapita bo contribution here. Jala. Besides the mandatory one. Okay.
Thank you very much, Nyemino David. Wanuchumo Bete san she no ni few pen ink ba fitai e bo modern ha ni bi epi ai to fen bo you fa ne mabo no ono nkayo okay salary hike ke o ba retirement e mingbela moji ni o ba hejo mo ana akeshin na gbe be ami o pete wenwa e won o pete wenwa siniti bi no ba ake okblam ye chon shin bon o sande bi moji beni o ke ba la he ne in kai papa ko ni e ke bank bi na wa ye bi egbe no e ke scam ba le ne ke nje he beni ba ne ke ba je ko ne yin pa no ne ko se ake ma ba ne ke beni ke ba wa le be nyi he ni mama ji ma ba so far ne wono is a social insurance social scheme will guard against collapse of the scheme. There are countries, Majimpi, any ameno, collapse. Ke wabu here, tomone chon here, scheme about collapse. E wo mokoyeni yeni chon here. Je lepe apiole ahan le nyomo. Eke me, ekola me ye nomo, ambe nyuma ke nomo, nyuma enyo. Shi ko kwemi ahwe ni le by retirement na kan year alone na kan year before. Le pe enyumo wete when wa fambi efen afo wa meda e wo no refer to as board minutes ke na kan ni bi no ele eji worshipamo ni bi investigations ko ba benefits ay investigators ambaya na ba kwani bi ami were you paying corresponding tax to the salary you were even earning where board minutes say no wa bi oji e ko la te decide and negotiate ke ni bi akewa ba increase pay. It will pay na increase directors management bi ba na neken workers middle level bi ba na neken ahun ke mba shishin nye ba na neken it will take minutes fin ye e domo wolo no it will abanya refer it will guard against cheating the scheme ko ba ni wo kwefin mi na ke show kaple ni sana ha boy na kan ni moko echi bugbe aba ha bo it will no g salary hike questions ni mene po where complaints and adjudication office your pension house ko ba car park story building car park ni wo yo dan no ba national theater office ye jeme e wo ko ye complain ko no ba o ba kwen wo question na kan ji heto no wo ba ha bo biane ke nyame no e ko mebi akeshin ke le den che echu eni ni baba alo no ko te wo ba fetin wo wa calculate ka ne ba pe no le wo ko akeshi bo baba no ba declare o income bo baba no ba ke wo akeshi o mi to ma wo ne kenyomo eja akeshi wo nyen wo ke ba wo ka akeshi o juwe ona neken jufo na neken e wo tombo ni wo fio forma bi won calculate o salary ha bo ba declare o salary ni wo fio declaration every year allow for every 6 months allow quarterly keke o declare na kan salary akeshe o neken wo he neken nyumo wo he allow neken pay ha he keke wo can recalculate e ha bo ni no hu ke wo calculate no jinu wo chon akeshe esa na ba below minimum wage e wonye mi no practically e keto mo ho 400 but ke mo akeshe o pay 4 million chuchu blame mashika 4 million ko basnite do ba pay 13.5 eto mo 54 cedis e wonye ken shika every month o ba nyon ha ni wo ba tobe wo ko organize se ba pe ni wo ba gbla mi ojogba ko ni self employed e wonu shi bia ne wo ke new aspect of it imba ni wo ba nyon use momo ke pay o tashian no wo onyomo we ba chon ni pa ko ba yi snit ke ni bi e wona kan ni bi e fin wo ba find another day wo ba ba ni wo kenye ba yue shi ma touch quickly on 3 ne ke many benefits employer ba na fine employer ona ke shi chuchu ke o ya shia alo retire snit ba pay bo da nyongbele bia na ke second tier no we to mo lump sum payment akba hambo tier 3 FS o ba na ke shin o ba chuni an o gbodengbe ka o ya shin aka to work clock e wo woche onyemi yo ke araple fine ka ke wo de ko sheshara ni ko gbele na na o e wo ni nchu an we provident fund na ha me ne shin bia ne mla nka ke shin afi ne kwa afi o ba afi is voluntary no law be chinchin ye no she ba chombo percentage no ko ba fi e wo bo employer den che o ba na keshi me no ke troni ame ba na motivation ko akeshi o ken chuni 10 years in chuni 20 years many mana no na no ni kon here o ba na keshi ambe den cha me ke wale ko ba wo mi ni ame ba chuni e wo I think akeshi time e te wa mi na keshi nyeme no enyo ima benke wo yo owa okoba pasa shikoni beko klo keke yera don
Wana yelo indomo osutu street na jami ngo shida claiming hanye yake no for ni wo chenye nye ba ba bla mi ni kasimo le e kan yelo lo to be ro ke bi fa le she wa chi wo benke nye bona fe nye ba bla mi ni hawo ojobo awe ko wo fen wo ba ni fe mo ne many nkwe online ke many yo be ne fe osutu street ke wo fe wo yo la don me pa mene ochienyo 2 weeks from today, that you name, or I feel annual or more lecture, you be a name. One path I can, offend woman, but in Woba, would you buy? So I never name. So I never name where Osu District YPG in Fee or 90 BNA. I've been perfect in offend Woban Woba, Boo, I'm a twee. One by you, I mean, and G. Usofo Joe. Butchery, every butchery. Let him buy you. Me and Osu, Eben-Ezer be fairly okay. Hopani Bane Bobaha 2021 accounts a beer. On Pafai Aja accounts on Bo, Mofen walk with me, Konka was Sanduque, or Bake or Bar, in Wofen or Bar, no bar beside the Konak Blaming, at your Wapa war Usofo. Oga amate few fine eba soli ni epao.
If I need Jolani, if I know be at a moon, I see a check. Oh, we're no Nuala Presbyterian Lala. You market power can't work again. Walk a solly. She dark a walk a jom of fair. Two. Walk a jom of fair. Fanny how was solia. One unchoke one young more, when you be papa fair and book back and one double she won't come for boo. I can be me knew about you was Sam Naneshi, what trouble. Okay, why but show me no correct bina. O blue woman, he make a hello name, he may fan one will not be near a by you, she one double she. Wow, no fair walk away here, woman. What many want tuning, or many what tune fair, few only one when you were doing what says she lay. Near me, who knew by near one here won't to a one word and one double she am a wallahi. Or 5 bomber jacket while a fair jam and me and uncho toyo hame. Ke ahoni, a fair na charm, a coon. I mean, nahe wallahi. I make a yana make a tosse me, Kelbo Christo in yam. What must she be a wire nuncho? J. O. Here was she, or here nickel or back a wire. Connie and Yemen asked me, Christo me. What get your cherry? Unaka fe wanoko, yon cheraka fe wanoko. You are called Pojeke or mean by he. Couldn't one no choice to Christo dromole, Chanani was so much more concron and your bole, go fair in Simeneke da. Amen. Eke siya kwa mujong.